What's going on? What's going on? It's your boy Pin Game James, and you're now tuning into the Vibez of the Table podcast. I got some other people was supposed to come on here with me. They might be a little bit late. SoPoetic and Coco Weaponry, but we'll see if they come on today. You know what I mean? Definitely shout out to everybody who's been supporting PVE as far as online following us on Instagram and Facebook and participating in the poem challenges. We definitely appreciate y'all so much. We got a guest on the show today that's going to help us talk about a very interesting topic. This spoken word poet is all the way from the UK. First time I had heard of him, he said a line that was crazy. He said something about they won't think to rip you off your garments, something like that. You know what I mean? But it was a fine line, and I've been following him ever since then. So without further ado, all the way from the UK, give it up for Miguel. What's up, man? How you doing?
Hey, what's up, man? Appreciate you having me. And for all the friends out there in the US, shout out to you. I go by the name of Loboverse as my poetry name, but obviously people call me Miguel, Miggs.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
That's my fault because because I saw Lobo first, but then I saw what was that Blue Wolf you had too, so I didn't know which one I meant to ask you about that.
Yeah, so the Blue Wolf side, that's just more of when I just announce a new project or I'm gonna drop something poetic on that. Where Loboverse is more it's my artist name, but it's more of a personal page as well.
I got you. Okay.
So it's one of those things. So yeah, Blue Wolf is more of a brand, if you will.
Got you. Okay.
So yeah, so I'm kind of developing that at the moment steadily. So
no problem.
But Loboverse, that's who Lobo, if you want.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously meaning I run with a theme of a wolf.
Yeah.
So yeah, I always like wolves. So that's just been my thing for a while.
That's what's up. Okay. That's what's up, bro. That's what's up. So the topic we're gonna tackle tonight, is criticism. When it comes to spoken word poetry, if we've been to, or have participated in, poetry slams or any type of poetry contest, sometimes you may have judges or you may have someone who's been doing poetry for years and they give criticism, and it could be a good thing, and sometimes it's a tough thing for us as poetry artists to deal with. You know what I mean? So let's tackle that. So the first question, when it comes to criticism, as an artist, why is it being critiqued? Why is that when it comes to being critiqued? Why is it so hard to take?
Okay, now do you want me to answer that as an artist or just in general? You as an artist, right?
Yes, an artist, yes.
Okay, I mean that one's pretty straightforward, because if you are honing your craft, okay, for example, this is poetry. Poetry is a space where you are expressing yourself, right? You're expressing yourself in an artistic way.
Mm-hmm.
The words are yours, and pretty much that's your baby.
Right,
right.
What I mean? Right.
And whether some people say, "Oh, I'm just doing it for just to express myself," but you still want to connect with some people.
True,
you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Because at the end of the day, we share stuff to get a reaction.
Yeah, true.
Poetry is the same thing. So it's hard to take, because in your mind, you've put in work in something that's precious to you. Mm-hmm. So when somebody from the outside, critiques it may not even be harsh, but they just have a different take on your art.
Mm-hmm.
Initially, as a reaction, it's gonna be like, oh well, okay, well this is what I'm trying to do anyway, because it's we're gonna be defensive, but it's trying to find that balance to actually open your ears and think, okay, cool. Everything that art is subjective. Well, how you may see things might not be the same way someone else sees it. So I think that's where there's a blurred line there, if you will. You know what I mean?
I agree. I definitely agree with you, man. And speaking as an artist, I mean, I've been, critique before, and I ain't gonna lie, it was difficult to take because, it's like when you put what you feel like is your all or your best into something, you hope for a good reaction. But then when someone tells you that, hey, this is not what we're looking for, or this poem is not gonna be, we can't submit this type of poem into our show because it's not up to par. It's not what we're looking for. And as an artist, it could be very difficult to take because you feel like you've done your best. But I remember someone told me this a long time ago, right? Sometimes what you think is your best, it may not be your best. And that's the honest truth. And as an artist, it's difficult to take. It's difficult to, I want to say process, but at the same time, you have to take it with a grain of salt. You know what I mean? It's not going to be because when it comes to criticism, man, like I've heard very harsh criticism given to artists. And I remember like hearing stories of some artists, whether in poetry or rapping R&B. I've like seen them quit. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like you may have like like someone like someone of a record executive come into the room, and he's like straightforward with his speech. You know what I mean? Like that's how artists quickly. Hey, look, we look at like we don't like this. You know what I mean? Thank you for coming, but you could leave. You know what I mean? Now, I've experienced that in the poetry realm, but at the same time, like that can still happen though. That can still happen. You know what I mean?
I agree. You know what? When I started this poetry journey, I started 2020, like really writing poetry.
Oh, okay.
Whereas before, like as we mentioned off record, there was UK does have a hip hop community and whatnot, and rapping was a thing over here. Yeah. So when I grew up, I was obviously writing lyrics and rapping and whatnot, and obviously for a time I stopped, and I was writing quotes, just quotes here and there, and sometimes I'll hear a beat of like, okay, I could write a verse to this. But then when the pandemic hit, that's when I started writing, going back on actually writing poetry like structurally. Right. But I have found along the way, that as you do expose yourself to that realm or that setting, you can't stop the criticism because at the end of the day, it's necessary as much as we don't want to admit it. It's necessary for growth. Facts. True. And every time I write a piece or whatnot, I'll run it through some people. If they say it's trash, it's trash. But it's hard to take. But then sometimes it's like, them saying it's trash is like, yo, but then because you sort of like build a rapport with them, they'll tell you, well, okay, they'll say it in a sense where we know you can do better than that. Right. You know what I mean? So, however we try to sort of escape it and whatnot, you're not going to be exempt from criticism. However you feel maybe the project is, or, the piece that you write, it could be whether a long piece or short piece. But the one thing I find funny though is me personally, what I've experienced is there's been pieces where I've just written it and I wasn't really feeling it too tough. But then when I share it, they're like, "Yo, that's dope." I'm like, "What?"
That was me too. Yeah, right, exactly.
So, and at the same time, we're our own worst critic. On top of that,
I agree. We are. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but it's how to like basically bounce back from it. Bounce back from the critique. How do you handle it though? Right. And for me, it's been a case of like, again, just biting the bullet and going back to the drawing board every single time. So I'm basically just challenging myself all the time.
I got you. I mean, as an artist, I think that's I think that's the biggest one we gotta tackle. You know what I mean? Like other than just like like maybe like competing with somebody, like our fellow poets or whatever, or like who can come up with the best poem, whatever. It's the challenge of tackling criticism. You know what I mean? Because it's like when you receive it, and you may get that that straightforward criticism, it could be hard to take. You know what I mean? But criticism, I feel like it, like shows, are you really passionate about this as you say you are? You know what I mean? It's like, think of like someone who you admire. You know what I mean? When it comes to like entertainment. You know what I mean? Like, picture like someone like picture someone like a J. Cole or a Kendrick Lamar or a Jay-Z, if they just like, if they just said that, I'm gonna stop rapping because of the criticism they received from their last album or last song. I would be kind of like disappointed because I know how talented and great they are. You know what I mean? So like I would feel some type of way if they just like up and just said, I'm gonna quit because of the criticism that I've received. You know what I mean? 'Cause I feel like, so is that easy for you to just like give up because you hit this wall of of being critiqued, and now all of a sudden because you're being critiqued, now all of a sudden you want to quit. You know what I mean? So like I said before, the question comes out, did you really want to do this in the first place? You know what I mean? Because I feel like that's what you signed up for. You know what I mean? Because I think, when we enter this realm, we thinking about, the glory, the praise that like we'll get from our hard work. But when it comes to, the criticism, we don't really like think about that. We just think about all the good stuff that could happen to us. But then when we hit like some, bump in the road, now all of a sudden we question whether or not if this is something that we want to pursue anymore. You know what I mean?
I feel you on that, and I do think there needs to be a balance when it comes to praise and criticism. Because if you're just expecting everything to be hunky dory, then you're going the wrong way about it.
I agree
about your craft.
I agree with you.
Because let's be real. Even like the names that you mentioned, they've never been an example of criticism.
Absolutely.
Someone might look at it, listen to albums like the Jay-Z, the Nas. Like the reason why they were that good is because they received criticism from maybe close people. Like, yo, nah, I
absolutely. Absolutely. You know what I mean? I mean, like, you know how many times like I've heard people like, mention J. Cole's like old projects, and how many people say like they ain't like his old projects, like I forgot which album they had mentioned, but like there was some also his like old projects, and they said like they didn't like it. They like, I mean, now his like newer stuff they really like. You know what I mean? But I feel like if like Cole or anyone else didn't receive those type of like criticism, would they be the MC they are today if they didn't receive it? Cause I'm pretty sure like they may read the comments or like hear, some folks say, "Hey man, look, that Jiggy album, man, ain't like they ain't for me," or they may hear like Cole or whatever, like, man, like the Cole album was kind of like, like I ain't really like that. You know what I mean? It's like that's expected. You know what I mean? It's expected. SoPoetic, glad you can join us. So like, what's your take on, when it comes to criticism? Why is it as us as artists of poetry? Why do you think it's so hard for us to take at times?
I think it's because it's our own thoughts, it's our own feelings, it's our own perspectives. For someone to say, "Hey man, your perspective is not good enough for this platform," or "Your perspective is this or that," or whatever the case may be, we take that personally. And I think the way I look at criticism, for me, if I want to get to a certain stage or a platform, then I need to work on my craft so I can get to it. So for me to be motivated to work on my craft, I love when somebody says that my work is either whack or that it needs polishing or whatever it is, however they phrase it. I love when people do that because now it's like, okay, now I got to go harder. Or this dude is not feeling my work, or this crowd is not feeling my work, or these guys who are the gatekeepers to the work, to that platform, they now are telling me, if you want to make it to this platform, you need to come harder. The material needs to be this way. The material needs to be that way. To me, it's just a combination of the motivation behind that versus the fact that people take it personal when someone is telling you that your work is not up to par. And you think you up to par with your stuff. You think that you got a solid, material put together.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I was looking at a short clip of Busta Rhymes,
Mm-hmm.
and he was talking about how Chris Brown told him he needed his verse to be on the song "Look at Me Now."
Oh, okay.
And he was basically saying that Busta's verse wasn't on hitting at first. You need to this, and this. And Busta was like thinking to himself, like, who is this dude? Like, I mean, like, what are you talking about?
Right.
Like, I do this. I rap all the time. But he said it's just that when he heard Chris Brown's part, all that stuff moved him to go and put the verse down that we all know and hear.
Right.
Time and time again. Because an R&B singing type of dude told a hip-hop legend that his verse ain't on hit. So just imagine when you're an established artist trying to who ends up getting critiqued.
Yeah.
And someone tells you that you're getting critiqued by somebody who's not as experienced as you. That's the other part of it too, of the concept of where I take critiques to be. But I try to make sure that I have the same perspective regardless of who and what experience they have. It's me trying to reach the audience and trying to reach the masses. Because whoever's critiquing me, if they're not satisfied with what I'm writing and what I'm putting out, then what makes me think that the crowd I'm in front of is not going to receive it the same way?
Right.
They're basically trying to save you from falling flat on your face and your piece not reaching the audience. These rap artists that you talked about with the J. Cole's and Nas, all that stuff, they make music to reach the audiences, to reach the masses. If they can't put out quality material, they're going to lose half of their masses that they already reached out to and connected with. So this criticism is heavy. It just has a heavy concept. And that's, to me, why I believe we respond the way we do, because it's our stuff. It's us. It's our innermost feelings and thoughts being judged underneath a microscope.
Right.
And that, to me, you don't get any closer than that.
I agree. I definitely agree with you.
Totally agree on that. Totally agree on that. I mean, he mentioned, actually, by the way, nice to meet you, Craig.
Also, I love Miguel.
Nice to meet you, man. So, like, you mentioned the masses. And it's funny because the example of the whole Chris Brown and Busta Rhymes, with Busta Rhymes looking and thinking, well, you're an R&B singer, how can you tell me about this, right?
Right.
But in reality, if you think about it, when people are releasing material to the masses, the majority of the masses are maybe not on the same level as your craft, but they still have the right to critique.
That is true. You're right. That is true. You ain't lying.
They're listening. They're the listeners. They're part of the masses. So if the person is part of the masses that's telling you, like for example, let's say if I'm coming to you and I'm saying, Miguel, come on, man. Like, I need your piece or your verse to be, a little bit more polished, man. You might initially be like, what are you talking about? But it's the fact that I'm part of that audience of your fan base. And I'm telling you what I'm looking to hear, what I expect from you. Because now you've set the standard, too, at the same time, right?
Yeah, it's true, yeah.
You set the standard. So now I'm expecting you to come hard with your material. I don't want nothing less than that. And if what I'm hearing is less than that, I'm going to tell you. And that's kind of what the world does with the streams that they have. Because the way music has gone up and down with downloads and streams and all that stuff, that's a whole stretch, man. Man,
listen. I mean, I always say as well, it's like it's a reason why you go. I don't know. You go on Amazon. You go on a store that's selling something online. There's a reason why there's a review section. Because not everyone. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Not everyone's gonna view that certain product the same way. That's why it's there. Someone can make a light bulb, and I put it on and be like, well, I'm not an electrician, but I know that if I put a light bulb, I want it to work a certain way. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So
hey, you ain't lying about that. And I was just thinking about this too. You know what I mean? And like you got some people who just they just like shoot straight from the hip when it comes to like criticism. Now, I'm not gonna mention like nobody's names, but some of us may remember this famous quote. He's got to get it done. I ain't gonna say who it is, I mean, we might know who he, I mean, you know what I mean? Now, a lot of people felt a certain way about him, like critiquing this certain athlete, but at the same time, like, it's then what YouTube was saying, you know, it reaches your work reaches the mass. Sorry, the masses, and some of those people they may not do the same work as you do. They may not even be in the same field, but at the same time, they got a right to like critique your body of work. And if it's like less than what you say it is, then that stuff is going to come with it. You know what I mean? And I think as artists, a lot of times when we come into this field of entertainment, I think we just pay attention to, or we aspire for the glitz and the glamour and the cheers. We're not thinking about the hard work, the hard work that's going to take, and we don't think about those walls, those being critiqued. Yeah. And then when that happens, all of a sudden that same energy you had beforehand, now all of a sudden you're at standstill because like now you don't know how to handle this, being being critiqued. You know what I mean? And
that's why I say that again. Don't always be like, I'm the kind of person. I'll tell you right now. I'm the kind of person. If somebody shares a piece with me, or shares a piece in a forum where it's a group chat or whatever, and I listen to it or have the time to read it, and I personally don't like it, I won't say nothing.
I got you.
Like,
I got you.
I won't say nothing. I'll be like, all right, cool. I'm sure someone else in the audience will like that, but that ain't for me. You know what I mean? And I'm sure, like, if I've shared a piece in the group chat or whatever, someone might say the same thing. You know what I mean? So, but what I realized is, if there's like an overload of, oh yeah, this is great, this is fantastic, it's like, okay, let's be real here now. Is it?
It's more like time out. What were you saying about when you wrote that? No, I said that would be my question.
Oh, right. I got you. I got you. Right. You know what I mean? Next question that I want to ask, being critiqued, whatever, and when it comes to this, this like intimate field, support is something that we like hold dearly to us, right? Now, I'm gonna ask y'all this question: does your friends and family, are they obligated to support you?
No.
All right. Okay. So like let's start with Craig. Okay. It's like what's your take on this question?
I think that they're not required to, but they will support you because you're family. You're somebody that's close. If you're talking about friends, in that instance. But as far as family, they're not. I could truly say that I've never heard my mother say, how come you didn't tell me that you were doing a performance somewhere? At first, I didn't hear her ever say that. But then I started to hear it more.
Yeah, okay.
My mom would come because I'm doing something that I love to do. And it's in front of an audience, that type of thing. But I feel like sometimes, too, there's also a bit of a barrier sometimes I create on accident. Like, because I don't mind her hearing my poetry, but it's like there are certain feelings of mine that I make for the audience. Okay. And I always ask myself, why do I have no issue getting in front of the audience doing this? But my mom or my whoever will ask, about when I'm performing, and I feel like I don't say much about it, and I think sometimes it goes back to all the things my mother used to do to support me as a kid. Even as a teenager, you feel like your parents cramp your style, right?
Right.
So I guess for me as a man at 37, she might cramp my style still, but at the same time, it's her wanting to support. And I think the people who want to support you, you should never stop them from supporting you because they always have that choice. They always have a choice to not support. and they know that they have that choice. Family always know they have that choice.
They do. They do.
They backing you up because they love you.
Of course.
But I mean, but if your piece is not up to snuff, look for your siblings to tell you straight up, and they will tell you. But yeah, that's my take on it, man.
Yeah, I don't think just because they're your friends or family, they shouldn't be obligated, because like that sounds more like entitlement. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
Okay. Okay.
You shouldn't feel entitled for someone to like your stuff. Because look, two of my closest boys, they'll be like, "Yo, Migs." They'll say things like, "Yeah, we know what you can do, but yeah, that bit right there, that one there." But then it's like they're not always into what I do, but they accept that. But they understand that this is what my lane is. Yes. You know what I mean? So I'd rather my friends keep it 100%, 1,000, keep it all the way 1,000 with me, than me just thinking, oh yeah, like they're supporting, because again, I'm not really down for the fake support. You know what I mean? It's either if you call me, you call me, like in that obviously realm of supporting. If not, then it's all good. Yeah, you know what I mean? That's okay. So people are allowed to make a choice.
That is true. You're absolutely right. And I think because it's our family and friends, we feel like we're like they're like obligated to support us. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's like you may see, let's say like you do a show and like they're not there, but they're there at like somebody else's performance. I can't lie. I mean, like you probably would feel some type of way that that like someone that's like close to you is at someone else's shows, or like buying and listening to like their projects, but when it comes to you, it's like they're not buying anything from you. They're not coming to your shows, and that can hurt.
Yeah,
that can hurt. You know what I mean? But but like as you said, they're not obligated to support you, and like I never looked at it like that before, but like yeah, I mean it could look like a sense of entitlement. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like, okay, because you're close or related to me, I'm going to support you because of that. You know what I mean? Or it's like I'm going to automatically support you because we're boys, because I'm related to you. You know what I mean? And I feel like as an artist, how can you get stronger from that? You know what I'm saying? Because it's like just saying, you like myself because we're friends. I don't feel like that's gonna help you grow.
Yeah,
it can't. I don't see. I just don't see how can that how can that help you grow if you always getting told, what I mean, always giving the praises, saying, yeah, this is fire, this is hot, this is hot, this is fire. You know what I mean? But if I do a project or a poem and it's not hidden where it should be hidden, I would like somebody to tell me, hey man, look, Penny, you're a good artist, but this ain't your best. I respect that. I respect that, and it challenges me to as a poetry artist to like go back, you know what I mean, and dig and dig deeper.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I feel like as an artist, that's how you should always feel.
That's it. But I was thinking of something. I'm going to pivot a bit on this one.
Okay.
Because there are many people like in just in life in general who they want to aspire to be something. They want to aspire to a certain craft. Whether it's music, whether it's what have you. And let's face it, some people maybe aren't great at what they're doing, as in at all. So where do you draw the line in saying, okay, maybe I'm not good at this? Do you know what I mean? Like,
okay.
Because I'm not. But by the way, this is not related to anyone. But I'm just saying, like,
of course, right? Of course, I know what you're saying.
It's a case of like, okay, bro, this ain't your lane. Maybe you want to try this. Like, stop. Because at the end of the day, I'm sure you've heard people again like stuff like American Idol. Of course,
oh yeah.
Or these hip hop shows where they want to be rappers, and the person is just not hitting. They actually whack at rapping. It's like, hey, who's gonna tell him?
Right,
so,
right.
It's one of those things. But at the same time, it's like is it people hating, or is it the fact that you're actually not that great? So where do you draw the line?
Exactly. I
think all of that comes under the umbrella of criticism. How do you? Where's it going to move you? You know what I mean? So
true, right?
Yeah, it opens a lot.
I mean, true. I mean, true. I mean, like, I take it. I mean, I like, that's like, when we used to watch, what's that show called? America's Got Talent, or like, So You Think You Can Dance, like those type of shows. And we've all seen that, that like 1 and 2 judges who just look at the talent and just be like, you know what, man, I didn't like this because like you was doing this wrong, that wrong, this, that, and third. And I remember the audience just was just like, booing them, or I remember like seeing artists just like, get highly upset or break down when they get told that they're not good enough. You know what I mean? And it's like, in those moments, like I said before, it's hard to take. But you have a choice in that moment. What do you do next?
That's it.
What do you do next? Which leads to my next question. As an artist, how do you keep pushing or working towards your dreams despite the lack of support, attention, and being criticized? How do we do it? How do we do it?
That's a good question.
Oh, me? Oh, man, look.
Yeah.
I mean, for me personally, man, I mean, I've been told that I couldn't do things since I was a kid. You know what I mean? I was told I couldn't play ball, that I couldn't do this, I couldn't do that. And I remember every time I heard that, I had this urge to prove everybody wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember, being teased for my speech impediment, my stuttering. You know what I mean? But I remember like still getting on stages regardless and still, performing poems. You know what I mean? Whether or not someone like me being there or not, I still want to like do this because I have a passion for this. You know what I mean? And for me personally, I feel like if you have the passion for something, that means you're going to, continually to do what you're passionate about, regardless of what people may say or the corrections that you have to make in your passion of what you want to do. You know what I mean? If you really have that passion and if you really love it like you say you do, then you'll make the necessary adjustments. Whether like you have to, slow down your flow, whether you have to try to enunciate and speak clearly more when performing. Any type of adjustments that you have to make, I feel like if you're passionate about it, you will make those adjustments. That's my take on it.
Yeah, I think I'm probably on the same boat on that one as well. It's now mind you, this is like a personal experience that I've learned as we've been doing this. Me being from the UK, now the first thing obviously because the majority of the friends that we do it with, most of you guys are from the States. There's not really like a massive community base over here, or community over here. So me having to basically, jump on like live IG lives and Zoom shows, it wasn't a thing where I just jumped on and then everyone was like, "Oh no, he's good." It's like it was like grinding. It was
facts. Yep, same here.
You go to open mic, boom. You go to, but then what I was doing then, it was just like more of a thing where it's like I just want to get my work out there, and then people started noticing. You know what I mean? And then I'll get like a message from from hostage or whatnot, and you'd be like, "Yo, I like your piece." Da, da, da. I'm like, "Okay, cool." But from that, carried on working. But one thing that I found though is that because me being from the UK, I didn't want to come off as like the token British guy. That's amongst.
I got you. I got you. Right.
You know what I mean? I wanted to get there by merit that okay, that I can actually do this. I can actually write, and I'm confident enough to say that cool. I can deliver a piece that people might agree with. Maybe not all, but you go for the acid test. So unfortunately, I mean, it's not really unfortunate. The fact that it's naturally people hear my accent, and like, oh, he's from the UK, but I'm just not. the accent is just not my entirety.
I got you. Right.
I'm trying
Exactly.
to again express that. So I think that's been a challenge for me as well, to try and sort of again enunciate, say certain words in a certain way that the majority of the friends in the States would understand, or will get the delivery.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because there has been times when someone said, "Oh, what did you say just then? What did you say this or that?" I'm just like, this is what I said.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, but then on top of that as well, there has been, when I've written a new piece or whatnot, and then they'll be like, well, you could do this, again, critique.
Yeah.
You know, and that's always made me go back to the drawing board, review some of the things, and then I'll review my own pieces. I think, okay, why did I say that line? So I'm basically going back and just adjusting something. I'm like, okay, why did I say that line? I could have said this. I could have left that bar there and added that one, or just said these two syllables. So it does take adjustment, and if you are passionate about it, you're going to make those changes and review yourself, critique yourself in the process as well. So
I agree.
Yeah,
definitely agree. All right, so
for me, I mean, I just think like this, man. If nobody doesn't want to support me, I remember the reasons I write. That's what I go back to first. I go back to the reasons why I perform, why I do what I do. Yeah, at the end of the day, I want to inspire and uplift others, but the first thing I do it for is myself. So when I don't get the support, I don't take offense to it. I just say, well, you know what? They weren't feeling my piece. They don't want to support. It's on them. They're going to eventually hear my name because other people are going to be checking it out. They're going to be digging it. And they're going to be like, man, y'all sleep on SoPoetic over here, man. SoPoetic does this or that, whatever it is. Or y'all sleep on Pen Game because Pen Game be really getting to the stuff we want to hear. And I just go hard at that. You know what I'm saying? I continue to do what I need to do for me. And whoever wants to listen, they'll take a listen to it. Whoever wants to support will take support to it. You ain't gonna be able to, get everybody, but it's been said, point out the biggest skeptic, I'll, make the biggest skeptic, believe in me. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I'll make them a believer. So it's like at the end of the day, for me, the biggest skeptic in the room will become a believer, not because of what I'm putting out alone, but because the people that he's rolling with are telling him to look at or telling him.
Facts.
I agree.
I don't care. I don't care if the support comes or not. You eventually have to get over the feeling of, oh, I feel bad about it or whatever, or I feel hurt that they're not supporting. You got to get over yourself because life is way harder than that.
I agree.
You just got to move forward, and that's how I look at it, man. If you don't want support, you're going to miss out. You're going to see what everybody else is talking about and not be part of it, wishing you were part of it. But my door is always open. So if you're not rocking with it right now, the door's going to be the same open for you when you do decide to rock with it. If you decide.
Yeah. That's what's up. And I feel like, that's I think that's how how anybody who has a passion for something should feel. You know what I'm saying? And not worry about how many people are, paying attention to you, or how many views you may have on social media sites. You know what I mean? You should do this regardless. You know what I mean? I remember when a friend of mine, Coco actually had sent me something in my inbox, and it was about it had Tyler the Creator was in it, right? And he was talking about this one artist that he I think he still works with him, that he found this one artist on YouTube, and this artist only had 3 or 4 views at the time, but Tyler thought he was an amazing artist, so he chose to work with him. You know what I mean? And that's just I'll show you, okay, this person may have had 3 or 4 views, but a successful artist, major artist, decide, hey, let me work with you. You know what I mean? So it's you gotta lay it like that. I mean, you may have 3 or 5 people in the crowd looking at you or paying attention. But what if it's somebody who can, offer you something life changing as an artist? You know what I mean? It could be up
excuses. You're in your craft and whatnot. When you're in the, or should I say, when you're in the gym, like, you know, theoretically, you're there by yourself.
Right.
So if you can't sustain yourself in that way, then support of others will be in vain.
Right.
So you need to, like, you know, like Craig said, you know, yo, support is welcome, but yo, I'm gonna be doing what I'm doing regardless. And whether you're sleeping on me, you're gonna find out.
Right.
And it's not even to prove a point or nothing. But it's just like the belief in yourself in doing it will shine through.
I agree.
That comes with, again, grafting when you know, when it's like late at night, you think of something. Let me write this down. People most people don't see that part, but they might just see, oh yeah, you know, he's cool. He came up with this dope piece or whatever, you know, and you're making a killing. You know, or you go on stage and you rock the mic and you rock the stage and people are like, yeah, that man's dope. But at the same time, whether the support is there or not, you're still having to go back to the gym, go back to the drawing board, and making sure you're supporting yourself in that way.
Exactly, true, facts. You know what I mean? And like, right, I mean, like, I definitely agree with you. You know what I mean? Like, the grind doesn't stop, and it shouldn't. You know what I mean? But like, let me thank you, Lobo, for like coming out, man, staying up with us. I know it's late. You know what I mean? Like I know it's like late over there in the UK, but I definitely appreciate you like coming on, man, hanging out with us. You know what I mean? Like, give us some gems to like think about. You know what I mean? So like, before we sign out,
man, shout out to you, bro. Shout out to the UK.
Appreciate it, man. Where you from, Craig? Which part of US?
I'm from Chicago, man.
Chi-Town, Windy City.
Yeah, just like my man Pen Game is. You know, but I'm in the suburbs now. But Chicago's always home. Always home. For real.
On that, yeah. I'm from East London.
Hey man, that's what's up, dude.
East side of London. But Pen Game, Darius, appreciate you having me, man. I know it's late, but you know, again, it is me supporting. You get me? So
no problem, man. Thank you so much. And like before we head out, man, like let people know like what like how can they like view your work? You know what I mean? Like view your poems and stuff, like what can they like go on?
So as of right now, I haven't got many things up as of yet, but
okay.
You can check out some of my stuff on reverbnation.com /Loboverse, IG Loboverse, and my other IG page is Blue Wolf. So it's BL 2 U's 2 E's Wolf. So
okay.
that's my open page. So anything like that, any sort of updates, is all on that. But anything, reverbnation.com. I got some of my stuff there. Check them out. It's spoken word. A few with backing tracks and whatnot. So, but 2024 there'll be more coming. So watch out for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, man. Appreciate that, man. And Craig, now I know you was talking about doing something like before. I mean, like you talked about like doing a certain podcast. You know what I'm saying? So like let us know, man. Like what you got coming up.
Oh, most definitely, man. So I'm big into R&B. I love 90s R&B. That decade was just full of iconic records with people that you would never forget, with collaborations that we will always remember.
Okay.
And so for that reason, I'm looking to host a podcast where we talk about the 90s and the early 2000s and now. So the first one up is going to be the 90s.
Okay.
I'm also going to have people who want to comment to join the IG Live or Facebook Live and give their thoughts to the things I'm talking about. Because what I've been planning to do when it comes to me in this music thing, I'm going to break down music as far as what's behind the songs that got created, the concepts of the music, and where I felt that we were in the time that we heard these songs and these artists, and the impact that they've had on R&B as of today. Okay. So this is going to be a really good one. You know what I'm saying? You guys are more than welcome to join as guests. I'm going to have different guests come through.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? To bless the podcast a bit with just their thoughts and stuff. It's going to be fun filled, man. And I think that all the music buffs who are out there, if you're out there listening right now, I'm just going to tell you right now, I'm going to get into the thick of it. And it's going to be fun. Of course, I might play some songs in the middle of the podcast just so that we break down components of the records.
Okay.
So it's gonna be something that's gonna be nice to do. I haven't fully developed it yet, but if it doesn't happen on this side of the year, definitely in January you can expect this podcast to come out. And I'm just gonna say it like this, man. It's gonna be real. It's gonna be fun.
That's what's up, man.
Full of entertainment.
Sounds dope, man.
That's what's up, man. We can't wait to. You know what I mean? Like we can't wait to be a part of it, and we can't wait to see it, bro.
Up too, don't you, Pen Gang? You got something happening, right?
I got something happening. You know what I mean? I was you know, well, first of all, shout out to everybody who had listened to my first and ever poetry album. You know, Words from My Notebook. You know what I mean? Thanks to everybody who like
well done on that, bro.
Thank you, appreciate it, man. You know what I mean? So like next year,
I'm slick, dude.
Oh yeah, thank you, man. So like next year, I'm thinking about you know, working on a second album. You know what I mean? Not gonna say what the name of it is yet, but like I definitely want to do a second album, and I definitely want to like do it next year. And you know, I want to do it like, you know, maybe like spring, summertime release date. You know what I mean? But like most definitely, I will be doing a second album. You know what I'm saying? So like, you know, like appreciate to everybody who supported me on my first ever project, you know, and to those who support me on, you know, this podcast. You know what I mean? I definitely do this for, you know, the poets and for the performing artists. You know what I mean? So like make sure you'll be ready to check me out on, you know, Spotify, YouTube, follow me on my social pages, PVE, Poetic Vibez ENT on social media, and then follow me on everything at Penny Poems PGJ. Alright, so this is Vibez at the Table Podcast, and we see y'all later. Alright, salute.
Salute.